It's Christmas time and time for a carol.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, bitches.
If December was a person, it would be old enough to drink what's in this box because it's the 21st, ladies and gentlemen. We finally made it. That's all the jokes I've got, so we might as well open the box. Dun, dun, dun. These keep coming off too, I noticed that. Oh, hey. The first branded Jim Beam product in the box. It's a Jim Beam Double Oak Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, finished in oak, 43% alcohol, 86 proof. I think it's really kind of funny that they put finished in oak on the bottle because aren't they all finished in oak? I guess it's because the double oak, they actually throw it into a never oak barrel after the initial aging process, so it's basically Jim Beam's straight bourbon or their typical bourbon, but then thrown into an ever barrel for extended aging, which makes it more mellow over time. Woodford Reserve, which again I haven't seen any out of this box yet, has a double oak as well. And then 3 years ago they released a double oak where they took their double oak and then re-oaked it again and then sold that, but it was very limited and I wasn't able to try it. And I'm going to be sad for the rest of my life as a result. Anyway, so I have had this before, but it's been a while. Jim Beam Black and Double Oak are pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of Jim Beam's traditional bourbon, but you can't really knock the quality of their product base and what they have out there on the market with, bourbons like Baker's and Booker's and Candlestick Makers and things like that on the market. So, hey, I'll give it the old Harvard try, right? Let's give it a whirl. Rest until every last drop of that bourbon is in that glass today. I don't really smell a whole lot off that. Definitely oaky, but I guess that goes without saying. It's good. It's a bourbon. Yeah, it's a nice mellow Jim Beam bourbon. It's doesn't really have a whole lot of really unique flavor, but it's definitely smooth. Doesn't have a lot of burn. You do get a little bit of that toasted flavor and vanilla bean, but it's one of those things because it is just Jim Beam. It's not like a super different. It's not like I have a Baker's 9-year that way back in the day when I was reviewing bourbon with the Bros of Bourbon series on YouTube. That was our first episode, and I don't think it ever actually made it. I think that it was too messy to actually upload, but all that aside, that was really interesting. It tasted kind of like biting into a cherry end table is how I like to describe it. This does not have that level of character, but it's still perfectly good. And you can probably pick up a bottle of this stuff for, I would recommend, less than $60. So if you see it out somewhere and you want to try it out, or you're just looking for a nicer Jim Beam bourbon, this is a good one. Definitely better than their white label. But I wouldn't expect to start any fires with this one. It's just not a crazy unique bourbon, at least not compared to some of the stuff that I've had in this box. So still really smooth and good, but again, like I said, it's not super unique. So it's still worthy though. It's still a worthy addition to this catalog, especially considering, the fact that they're kind of trending up, it seems, from the last 3 bourbons that we've had. This does soften the blow a little bit, but in general, this is a nicer bourbon from the Jim Beam distillery, so I'll accept it. That concludes day number 21, and tomorrow's the 22nd. It's going to be Saturday, so, hooray for the weekend. Those of you who don't have to work, I myself, I'm a bartender and I do have to work, so it's not my weekend per se, but I'm looking forward to Monday because that's going to be the very last day of this Advent calendar, and I'm going to be partying like it's 1969. So, in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your evening or day, depending on when you're watching this, and drink some more bourbon. It'll help you stay warm this Christmas season. This has been another episode of Bourbon Bender. I'll see you tomorrow.